back to my live stream. Welcome back to Jacob Cast 2024. We're gonna do my preview and prediction for Saturday night main event. We're gonna do my prediction. We will talk about Smackdown tonight, cause Smackdown tonight was the go home show for Saturday night main event. We will go through all the show. We will talk about the news and rumors. We'll talk about AEW, NXT, we have a lot to do this week. I will be doing live streams. I'm doing one tonight. I'll do one tomorrow. I think I may do one Sunday since it's, and I will do one that walk. Maybe add a live stream. I'm not sure, but I just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all support. Hit that button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section if y'all want to see more. Enjoy the video. It'll be like an hour and 10 minutes. We will go through Smackdown and talk about what happened on the show. We'll talk about the news and rumors and the big report about WrestleMania 42 not being in New Orleans, being moved to somewhere else. Might be Las Vegas. But anyway, make sure you guys enjoy the video. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. It's sponsored by my favorite podcaster, my YouTubers, Solomon the Sound Off, JD from New York, Joe Cronin, No DQ, Fightful Pro Wrestling, and my other favorite podcaster that I know of. Now, now this is the massive for Sunday main event. Jey Uso will finally defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Logan Paul. Now this is a nice filler feud for Jey Uso. It shows you how slim the main roster is on Monday Night Raw. There's no other heels. Seth Rollins is too soon. Braun Breaker is not ready yet. Logan Paul, after he beat AJ Styles, he's next in line for the World Championship. The build just there just to give Jey Uso something to do. Now Jey Uso gonna wrestle Gunther on I think June 9th. And then we'll see what happens there. But it should be a good match. Logan Paul fantastic. His match with AJ Styles wasn't that good. It was decent, but wasn't that good. Maybe this match might be a little bit better. Jay had a great main event with Gunther back in January. Last time we had signed that main event. I think this has the main event. Because I'm not sure John Cena and R-Truth are going to main event. Maybe Jey Uso and Logan Paul are going to main event. But obviously Jey Uso going to win. The build just there. Alright, so now this match was just announced. We thought there were 4 matches, but there's 5 matches. The match was just announced. Zelina Vega defends her Women's United States Championship against Chelsea Green. Green gonna get a rematch. The match is just there, just a filler feud, just to give them something to do because they want them on the card. Last time Chelsea won it was on Saturday Night Main Event back in December, I think. And Vega, she won in a piss poor match that was shit. So you all know that Zelina Vega, she's gonna win. She'll retain her US title. Pretty clear she's gonna win. We'll see what happened to Chelsea. Where Chelsea go after this? I don't know. I don't really care. I'm not interested in her new fashion. She's gonna lose here. She already lost tonight on SmackDown. Anyway, we got this tag team match with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus CM Punk and Sami Zayn in the tag team match. Should be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. It's been kind of a letdown with the heel turn with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, but it should be. Hopefully, it picks up. Not sure who's gonna win here. I think Seth and Braun need the wins, and they just started to be built up. Braun been paired with Seth for like a month now, so I think some people think it's Sami Zayn gonna turn heel. Are we gonna get the third member? Is it gonna be Sami Zayn or someone else gonna return? Maybe Austin Theory, even though it wouldn't make any sense, but we don't know what's gonna happen. Don't tell me this match is just gonna end with the heel going over. I don't think the faces should go over because it might hurt Seth and Braun momentum. And Braun Breaker should be protected. Seth, you know he can be protected, so Sami Zayn might take the pinfall. I don't think Punk will get pinned. Probably Sami. So I think Seth and Braun gonna win here. I think they have to win. Um, Sami Zayn will probably take the ball unless we get the big shot, the big swerve. At this pay-per-view, it's on NBC. It's actually on YouTube. I think they said it can be for free on YouTube. So it's not. It can be on Peacock. It's on NBC. It'll be on YouTube, by the way. So I think we will get Maybe Sami Zayn gonna turn on CM Punk and align with Seth and Braun. It would be shocking. Maybe he'll give Jey Uso an opponent because he needs some heels. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. And then we got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a steel cage match. Should be a very good match. The feud had been, of course, it's been very good. The promos have been great. The brawl have been great. The brawl they had tonight was very good. I think this will end the feud, and then we'll move on. We'll see where Drew goes, where the Priest go. I think Priest will be in the mid card. I think he's to go after Jigga too. Drew McIntyre, he's not gonna be in the mid card. Maybe have Drew McIntyre feud with Cody Rhodes or Aleister Black or something. Aleister Black needs something because he's not in Money Bank, so have him Drew McIntyre feud with Aleister Black. Or when Cody Rhodes comes back, we still haven't seen Cody Rhodes. Maybe Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre can feud. We won't know. But I'm pretty sure Drew McIntyre gonna win, or it could be Damian Priest because well, I mean, Drew did win at. I mean, Drew did win at WrestleMania. Did Priest win, or did Drew McIntyre win? We won't know. I'm curious who's gonna win here. Cause what's the plan for them? We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of split on this. I'm sure you guys are, but what's gonna happen after the feud is over? All right, we got John Cena versus R-Truth. They didn't say for the title. I think they said it non-title. John Cena's not defending the title. This could be John Cena's last Saturday Night Main event. Now, John Cena had been on TV since Backlash. He wasn't on Smackdown last week. He wasn't on it this week. R-Truth had a pretty good promo to hype up their match. We might see John Cena maybe next Friday. We'll have to wait and see. But the match is non-title. Now, I'm not sure if they're gonna main event or not. I'm hoping John Cena beat the crap out of R-Truth, destroys R-Truth. Maybe we'll see Cody Rhodes come out and try to save R-Truth, and we'll see what happens there. We just won't know. After Saturday Night Main Event, it's Money in the Bank and then Night of Champions. So we will have to wait and see what happens here. Obviously, John Cena gonna win. He'll destroy R-Truth. It's just a filler feud to give John Cena something to do. The feud that's there until we get the Money in the Bank. We won't know if John Cena gonna defend that Money in the Bank against who. Is it gonna be Cody Rhodes? I never see it again. So I'm a little worried too. What is John Cena gonna do going to the bank? All right. So oh wait, hold on. Next week on SmackDown is the final triple threat qualifier for the men's Money in the Bank. Jacob, you're in. Good luck. So Nick Aldis announced that Jacob Font 2 is going to be in a qualifying match next week. Against who? Who gonna win that? JC's not gonna be in it. Solo's already in it, but Jacob Font 2. Does he need to be in Money in the Bank? Can y'all hear it? We're both gonna be. I was both gonna win. Could have said a bang, but hey, but that's yeah. I love you, Solo. That's it. I love you. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. One big ball is just it right there. Jacob is in. So I think the main event is going to be the tag team match with the Three Prophets and Fratium. Alright. Hold on. Might as well skip ahead. Oh wait, hold on. This is the main event. Well, they said John Cena gonna return next week, and Bianca gonna return next week. Hold on. Alright. Bianca had a promo tonight. Yeah, Bianca had a very good promo tonight. So these are the matches that were on tonight. Julia She qualified Money Bank. She beat Charlotte and Zelina. Tommaso Ciampa defeated Chris Sabin, and Meechin and Beefan defeated the Service Harvest. Matches were very good. I thought they were decent. The tag team match wasn't anything better. It was pretty quick. It was nothing. Tommaso Ciampa and Chris Sabin was very good. I had to love that Julia qualified. Thank God it wasn't Charlotte. Although I'm still kind of worried. She could be added at the last second at Money Bank, or she could be hidden because she'll get Charlotte in the bank. So now what is Charlotte doing Money Bank if she's not going to be in it? She might wrestle Tiffany and don't want to see that again, but that could happen. I'm glad that Julia could see someone new. She just been called up. She just came to Smackdown because she's not gonna be on Raw. She's done with Roxanne. Roxanne doing the own thing with the job and day. Julia, we'll see where she goes. You can have her face Lena Vega for the U.S. title. Now Julia's not ready. Maybe Roxanne is. I'll be okay with that. We had a very good tag team match with Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo. They defeated Jimmy Uso and Ray Phoenix. Uh, Jimmy took the fall here. He took the pinfall. JC Mateo pinned Jimmy. The tension is rising between the new bloodline, between Solo and Jacob. It's leading to something. It's building to something. LA Knight qualified. He beat Aleister Black and Nakamura. LA Knight had the advanced. Only two on the men's side, so we're probably going to get more qualified matches on Monday on the Raw side. I think we have to. All right. Now, Bianca had a vignette tonight. Bianca get married? No way, she's already married. She got a very good vignette here. Yeah, so Bianca definitely coming back to SmackDown. It's been announced that Bianca making her return. We'll see what did Bianca do. We might see Bianca qualify for Money Bank. They're in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's her hometown, I think. I think town. She can make her return. We'll see what she does. If she can continue her feud with Naomi and Jade, or if she got qualified Money Bank. She could be a fan favorite to win Money Bank. So we got Jacob Fatu, Andrade, and Carmelo Hayes. I'm glad not the maid, but Carmelo Hayes. Now this is Andrade hadn't been on TV that much. He hadn't been used really, so I'm not sure if he's gonna win it. Maybe Carmelo Hayes could win it. Fatu shouldn't. Well, I'm not sure what can happen. I'm a little concerned here. This one feels kind of unpredictable. Andrade hadn't been used. Carmelo, he'd been with the Miz. Maybe he could qualify. He wasn't in last year. Maybe Jacob Fatu might win it, and they could add tension between Jacob and Solo. But Jacob's not gonna be pinned. It's either gonna be Carmelo or Andrade that gonna be pinned. Jacob should not be pinned at all. He's to be protected, so I'm a little worried here. Um, Not sure who's gonna win here. If Jacob gets added, they might add tension between him and Solo. Yeah, so we will have to wait and see here. Oh, look at that! Now this is very interesting. I don't think we saw Naomi or Nia or Jade, and if we did, it had to be in the Battleground 7 Dynasty. But I don't think we saw them tonight in something big. But they'll be on the show next week. Jade, Naomi, and Nia Jax. And this one is also unpredictable to where I'm not sure who's gonna win here. I think all three are deserving. Nia Jax had a great match last week with Tiffany. But I don't think she's gonna win. I think maybe Jade or Naomi. I think Naomi. I don't think Jade ready. I think Naomi is more deserving to be in Money Bank. Yeah, I think Naomi should win it. She's done the best work of her career. She's been phenomenal. She's been awesome. So I think Naomi should win it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Next week we will get John Cena. John Cena will be on the show next week. We'll see what he says. Who is he gonna feud with next? Maybe we'll see Cody Rhodes. they didn't even know Cody Rhodes. I wonder if they're gonna leave it as a surprise. But we'll see what the John Cena do next week. And then we got the tag team match. So let me time NXT Tag Team Champion on a 4-match winning streak. They haven't lost a match on SmackDown. It makes it clear that they might lose tonight. Might be a long match. And the match has been phenomenal. Hold on, it went to commercial. The match went to commercial. Alright. Oh, DIY got involved. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell? Oh, wait a minute. Oh my god. What the hell happened? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did you... What's going on with this ending? Uh-oh, the Wyatt Six. Oh my goodness. Oh no. The Wyatt Six is back. Holy moly, the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six is back on TV. Holy moly. It's about time. This is crazy. Candice LeRae. The crowd, man, they keep on muting the crowd. The crowd chanting, holy shit. It got a big pop. No one expected the Wyatt Six. Holy moly. I got so many views on my channel. Look at the Wyatt Six dominating everybody. They're dominating the tag team. Damn. The Wyatt Six is back on television. They dominated the tag team. They beat up everybody. Hold on a second. Can't open camera. Try restarting your phone. Damn. That was a great ending. That was a shocking ending. No one expected the Wyatt Six to show up. I actually want to show it just one more time. That was a great ending. That was a shocking ending. Nobody expected the Wyatt Six to show up. I didn't. After all these months, we have not seen the Wyatt Six since December, since they lost the Final Testament. Look at that. Hey, I see a cake. I see a candle. They're all back. Uncle Howdy, Nikki Cross. It's the first time that they've been on SmackDown. They were drafted. They were moved to SmackDown, and we haven't seen them. I think one of them was hurt. They haven't been used since. I hope that they're going to be on TV every week. Hope they're going to be used more frequently, hopefully. And who they're going to feud with? Who exactly is what faction are they going to feud with? Because there's not really a faction that's interesting right now. I guess we gotta wait and see what happens. People call an extraterrestrial. I am so sorry about that. I am so sorry about that. That really pissed me off. I had to put it back on. I don't know what the hell wrong with my phone, but I'm so sorry. Oh, I think I lost half my audience. Man, that really pissed me off. Very sorry about that for all my viewers who are watching. Technical difficulties. It really pissed me off. Alright, now I'm back. I still got some fans here. Alright, I got all my fans back. Now we can go through what happened tonight on Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. The Wyatt Six are back. They return. WrestleMania changes. Now we're gonna go through what happened on the show. That was the only thing that was interesting. They're back. After we had a very good main event. LA Knight in Money in the Bank. Save Us R-Truth. McIntyre and Priest had a brawl. We had Julia and Tiffany. They're down. Alexa Bliss, she's over as hell. Mickey James on her husband, Nick Aldis. Now let's see the other podcast and see what they have to say. Hold on. Man, I can't wait to see what the Wyatt Six are gonna do.
Downstairs, Jimmy hit a bunch of super kicks, went up top for the big splash, but Solo got on the apron.
Green and Selena. So
talk about that a little bit later too. This women's mid card continues to waffle because Wyatt Zelina in a Money in the Bank qualifier, she already has her own title and she hasn't defended it. Like she should be worrying about that title instead of looking for more gold, in my opinion. But we'll talk about it more. Alex, we're doing double duty this weekend, you and I. And yes, I did say duty.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now, alright. Now this is what we got on SmackDown. R-Truth had a very good promo. He said, I'll beat Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect into John Cena. We still got the new Bloodline they're trying to get over. Now let's see what Denise has to say.
Circling back to the Wyatt Six.
Alright. See what Denise has to say.
Sponsoring the pod. First of all, where are you at right now?
Indianapolis. I am at the lovely Sleep Inn in Indianapolis.
It sounds nice. It looks nice.
But it actually is much nicer than I thought. Down Indianapolis. Oh, I had my Lisa Denise thing.
Yeah. Said guys, we are here to chat some Smackdown, and what a way to end the night. We had the return finally of the Wyatt Six. Now, I don't even remember how long it's been since we've seen the Wyatt Six. It's been what felt like forever. And they're finally back. They came out at the closing of the show. We had the Street Profits versus Fraction. And just when you thought, like, okay, like the match is like starting to get like really good, and we're gonna get new champions, they sped up, but then the lights go down, and all of a sudden it is the Wyatt Six. They are there. So obviously this match ends in DQ because of the attack and everything. So we ended up seeing them take them all out. They took everybody out, and they had their move, had a really great reaction. There was holy shit chants, and the really nice moment at the end though was that they had a little birthday cake there because today, would have been Bray Wyatt's birthday. So it was a really nice special touch that they did with the cake. I thought that was really nice. But man, let's start right there. What did you think of the return of the Wyatt Six, and what are your expectations? Do you think Alexa Bliss is joining? All of that.
Well, Alexa Bliss was involved today, so that makes sense. Right? And her, speaking of vibes we were talking about earlier, her vibe definitely fits in with what they do. So I feel two ways about it, Denise. Number one, I really liked it because it caught me off guard. I mean, I guess I should have known. I heard the talk and everything, but by the end of SmackDown, I wasn't thinking. You know what I mean? Like going in, I was like, okay, finally, like the lights go on, and you're like, oh, there it is, and you could tell it impacted the crowd as well. Now, my other thought is the expectations of where they go. This is always the challenge with these supernatural groups and with a collective like this. I always feel like they do good on the intro, but the follow-up is tougher. And that's where it remains to be seen. Not saying it can't be successful, but But when they left everybody dead on Raw, that worked. And the same thing has happened with, unfortunately for the late great Bray Wyatt, sometimes too, like his entries back would be like, holy shit, Bray Wyatt. But then the follow-up didn't always land and hit. So I think that's the real challenge. I thought the reintroduction worked. It did catch me by surprise. Obviously, when the crowd's chanting to the point where they're having to censor them, that's a good sign. But all right, after that, where do we go? After the fact, is it going to land? I can't tell you the answer to that. I can just say it remains to be seen and it needs to be proven because in the past, the intro has been better than the conclusion.
Dude, you and I are thinking of the exact same way. That is exactly what I was thinking too, because like you said, when they came in Raw, remember all of the vignettes and everybody was keeping up with all of the hints and the clues and everything that they were doing to lead up to the debut, the introduction of Wyatt Six in the first place, and people were eating it up. And I remember that night after Raw, everyone on this high, on this buzz for this new group, and then every single week it just continued to dwindle to the point where it completely fizzled out. So even though today it was cool to see them and cool to see them back, and I also did like when they were doing the promos, like for a while on Raw, where they had everybody go out there and talk, and it felt like there was a cool idea in place, but they never tied up those ends whatsoever. So I'm looking at this and I think to myself, okay, I like that the fans are really excited about this. I like that it's different, but I don't know if I have any faith in them continuing to actually continue this to be successful, only because of the way that it went the first time around. So that's kind of how I felt too, where I'm like, okay, cool, they're back. This is great, awesome. But are they going to be able to continue that? Are they going to be able to keep that momentum? I think the way that they can do it also is simply one, by having them on TV, right? Like that's first things first. Like they need to be on. I don't want them to get stuck in doing the exact same thing because, as I mentioned, they got stuck for several weeks doing vignettes over and over and over again and didn't really go any place beyond that. So I hope that they actually do have some more well thought out concrete plans for the group. And also the question about Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss right now, she's always been a very popular person. She's always been a very popular wrestler. And it feels like when she came back, dude, last week on Smackdown, she got some crazy reactions for herself. And even today, she got a huge pop. People love Alexa Bliss. I feel like she is the key right now to the group where if she doesn't get added, I don't know how much hope I would have. I think if she does get added to the group, I think there's a more chance that they will actually do something with that.
Well, yeah, the phrase "one trick pony" exists for a reason. And that's what's the follow up? It's like for my next trick, it's my last trick. And that's that's what it feels like sometimes. Because what do you have beyond the lights go dark? We look freaky. What's the character? What's the arc? What's the narrative? What's the motivation? What are you feeling behind these? And yeah, Alexa Bliss has a little bit of a way to convey herself and a certain charisma, and definitely fits the motif. Like I said, they did the who was it that walked by her when she was talking to the doll?
Charlotte who had taken out her doll previously.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that definitely vibes with them, and I think the Nikki Cross thing kind of works, like the whole the thing that she's got going on there.
She's so good at that role. Like that girl is such a good actress. Like I think she does so well because she's done other little things. We've seen her as Nikki Cross, we've seen her as Nikki ASH, so different. And now seeing her like in this role, she's like this creepy. She's like out of a horror maze. Like that's what you get when you're in a horror maze. And so she's really good at that.
For sure. So I mean, it's just that's it, and that's the question. And why are they attacking the tag teams? Like, is that where they're going to be? Because it really did feel like that, Denise. Like heavy on the tag teams tonight. Between even the one-on-one matchup with Ciampa and when you had the vignette that they cut backstage that they hadn't really done as much of when DIY did that earlier in the show. Then you're ending with the Street Profits and Fraction. Like it was a lot of a heavy lean.
Santos, Humberto, they even got a little vignette too. I was so surprised.
Yeah, was that for the YouTube
Worlds
show,
Collide.
Worlds
Yeah,
Collide
Worlds
show
Collide.
that they got coming up. So yeah, a lot more of that this week than they've done in the past with some of the, I don't want to say, but secondary,
Yeah.
participants, but it was heavy on the tag team. So why are the Wyatt Six involved in that? Are they throwing their hats in the ring? And is that something that they're WWE is really leaning into? Is like Smackdown is the land of tag team.
Well, it feels like they just needed some big characters because when you think about it, okay, you got Roman Reigns is not there right now. You don't have Cody Rhodes, he's not there right now. You don't have, John Cena appears ever so often. So you don't really have like these real big people on the show that, you're used to hanging on to. Like right now, the biggest focus has been Fatu, Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, like that whole bloodline stuff. That's usually at the top of, I would say, the interest for SmackDown. And so without like those people, like who are the focus in? It doesn't feel like there really isn't anybody. So with the Wyatt Six, there was a perfect opening there for them to start, making their presence be known. And who knows, maybe this could be, really make this their show, not just be a part of SmackDown, but be SmackDown. Like that could be a thing. We don't know. But it just feels like there's a empty space. There feels like there's a void that needs to be filled. We really need that key person that we can hang on to with their storylines. And honestly, like this should also be Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre is there. And we'll get into him in just a little bit, but he's somebody that could also be in that spot, but isn't necessarily. I think part of that has to do with I don't know I've been getting conflicting comments in regards to Drew and Damian. I feel like some people like the feud, some people don't like the feud. I don't know. I feel like it's a little conflicting. I like what they're doing, but does it feel like the magnitude of John Cena and Cody? No, of course not. But I don't think it's bad though. So I might as well get into that. We got an attack backstage. Damian Priest went after Drew McIntyre. Good. They have a match at Saturday night's main event, a steel cage match. So they brawled throughout the show as well. How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like I've seen it before, right? Like, that's I guess the biggest critique I would have. There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't feel fresh and new. I mean, that's what. Just circling back to the Wyatt Six real quick, that was a moment. Whether it's their thing or not, at least it was a moment because if that didn't happen, what would we be talking about right now, right? That is, I think, the most significant thing. But putting the pin in that, yeah, I mean, I think they're making the point very clear. These guys don't like each other, no matter it's on site, right? Like it's on. I mean, when R-Truth is cutting a promo as a featured part of a show,
and it was a lengthy one too that had you kind of following all sorts of threads.
Former 24/7 champion. R-Truth is
like 40-something time 24/7 champion. I think he might have even got into the 50 digits. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think extending it for the build for Saturday night's main event is fine, but once you put them in the cage, I do feel like that should probably be the culmination.
Do you see Drew going over in the steel cage, or because he won at WrestleMania, you're expecting it to be Damian?
I think it's Drew again. I mean, unless they're continuing it because of or they have an idea of something else with Drew. I mean, I just don't understand why you would do what you did with Drew and then pull the rug out from under him after that fact.
Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know, man. I like the food. I don't hate it at all, but I do get why some people might not be like wholeheartedly invested in it. But we do got a couple of super chats. Let's see what everyone's saying. What appealed to them on today's show? We got Trevor L. Thank you so much, Trevor. He says, happy to see the Wyatt Six. Super cute moment. Bummer it had to happen in that match. I know, right? Because we were pretty into it, titles back. So, but I do think Faction will be getting the titles pretty soon. Honestly, they're really pushing them, man. Like they even called them the team with, I forgot what they said. Commentary said like the team with the most buzz or something, or the most popular team.
Best of us props to them.
Watch along for the first 2-hour show. I'm gonna throw a party. Like when you come in, there's gonna be balloons. There's gonna be like placing bets for sports and whatnot. That man. All right. So what did we get today? Sorry, I'm just trying to. Oh yeah. It was the tag team match that we got today with JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu versus Jimmy Uso and Rey Fenix. That was actually my favorite match of the night. I love seeing all of these personalities work together. I love seeing the dynamics of them. Like, oh my god, like just watching even Rey Fenix in there with Fatu, and just the match was so much fun. That was honestly the best thing aside from the women's match earlier in the night. But they are clearly teasing a breakup of All Out. We've known this for a while. Jacob Fatu is going to be part of a qualifier for the Money in the Bank next week. Whether or not he even manages to qualify, he might get screwed. Who knows? I don't know, man. What are you thinking here? How are you feeling about this whole story?
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem with it. Look, it's all Jacob Fatu now, right? Like he's the breadwinner, the money. Whether he wins Money in the Bank or not, he's the money guy in that. And Solo Sikoa played his role nicely for the period of time. And I still think he's doing a decent enough job in this sort of like quasi leadership role with the friction with Jacob Fatu. But this is all about making Jacob Fatu stronger and eventually getting Jacob Fatu to even another level than he's already at. So I don't take issue with it, or it should not be the lead thing. It should not be the thing that you're like coming in every week and I'm caring the most about, and that there's the drawback. But as part of the card, as part of the show, and the continuing elevation of Jacob Fatu until he does get in the ring with the big boys, I don't have a problem with it in that sense because it does make sense.
Right. Yeah. Like, even though I know what you're saying, like, it shouldn't be like the main story just because they're not there yet. But it really is, though, on SmackDown. Like, that Bloodline just carry it through forever. Like, even this version of the Bloodline, that's what we're getting. But I'm wondering if Solo Sikoa will be costing Jacob Fatu, or JC Mateo will be costing Fatu this qualifier. That's the only thing you think of. So it's going to be against Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And I'm thinking, oh, poor Andrade, he's going to be the one to get the pin here. But I'm thinking if Solo Sikoa screws Jacob Fatu, Carmelo Hayes will take this. But if not, then Jacob Fatu will take this. But here's the thing, Robin. If Jacob Fatu qualifies for that Money in the Bank and he makes it into the Money in the Bank, I'm going to want Fatu to win that Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I agree. I think if he's in it, he needs to win it because that's just the stature of his character and his persona and his presence right now. So my money would be on Carmelo Hayes being the guy that gets in there, especially after the promo Miz cut about him, sacrificing to get him there and all that. So that's where I do believe it goes, and it's probably Mateo who then gets set up as the Fatu's got to go through him to then go to Solo, right? Like, so you let it go out a little bit longer than but you take it to its natural conclusion, which would be him going through the big bruising group guy, and then him taking Solo out, and then at that point you got to go to
whose paths are going to clash after this. But I think they're going to spend some time here. Like, they'll spend some time telling the story with Solo and Fatu. So I feel like this will be one of the Bloodline stuff that really takes a long, long time. We got Hassan Butler here who says a Jacob versus Phoenix feud could be families. Dude, their interactions in the ring, man, I was living for this. Hassan Butler, thank you so much. We got Stephen Marchuli who says, does Cody return at Saturday night's main event? Look, there's a part of me that's like, yes, but no. Okay, I'm leaning more towards no, because Saturday night's main event is kind of just it doesn't feel like a PLE, okay? And it's not a PLE, it's like a special show, whatever, right? But it doesn't feel like a PLE. So I almost don't want to see Cody return there, but at the same time, in order to make Saturday night's main event feel a little bit more special, you do got to do surprises and things like that if you want to keep having people tune in. But I think at this point, WWE has sort of, let us know that, hey, this is going to be a show, but don't really expect too much to happen out of this show.
But it is on, national television, right? It is, and I guess when you bring it up, it makes sense within the context of the R-Truth match, right? John Cena and R-Truth, like, come on, like, what else is gonna happen there?
other than don't meet your heroes, that's literally it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's nothing else but attitude adjustments waiting on that in that encounter realm. So I can see it. I can see it for sure. And something about Cody's vibe fits the motif of Saturday night's main event.
That's true. That's true. I can see that. I'm gonna be so pissed because I'm not planning on watching Saturday night's main event live. So I'm gonna be so pissed if Cody Rhodes comes back on the show that I'm not watching live. Like, what? You really couldn't do this on another show, but hey, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you, Stephen Marchuli. All right, with that being said, let's keep it moving. We had Tiffany Stratton, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair. They had the whole ass segment. Tiffany, obviously, your champion. She's out there, kind of recapping a little bit of what's been going on. And she's interrupted by Alexa Bliss. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm paying attention here. Alexa Bliss and Tiffany Stratton. And of course, they're all basically making their case, and Charlotte Flair also comes out. We get a little interaction with Charlotte and Tiffany. Nothing as crazy as what we've seen in the past. But the craziest part though, this is the biggest part of this, was Tiffany Stratton calling Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair vintage, which we all know what that means. She was calling them old. And Robin, I was appalled because Alexa Bliss and I are the exact same age.
She's calling them washed, right?
Yeah.
Like the vintage. I think they're like the whole.
She said it with so much confidence.
Yeah. And between the way that Tiffany cut the promo, and to me it was like so much more impressive than the work she did leading up to WrestleMania.
Entertaining matchup though. A lot of people were wondering, okay, but who's actually going to win this, right? Like, what's going to happen here? And we ended up seeing Julia. Julia manages to get the win as she pins Zelina Vega, and she's moving on to the Money in the Bank qualifier. So Charlotte is not, as of right now, in this qualifier. And I think that everyone, for the most part, was kind of rooting for Julia or hoping that Julia was the one that took this win. And I think this was definitely the right call.
Definitely was the right call. In Smackdown debut, the way the match finished, even Zelina Vega selling the move after the fact in the backstage segment a little bit later, making her look strong. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And if you're going to bring her to the big stage and you're going to showcase her like that, then you got to do it all the way. There's no reason to half-ass it.
Hyper Niven and Alba Fire have to constantly wrestle in the suit. I feel like it takes away from them much. I wish they only wore it like in segments. I wish they didn't have to wear it in the ring. But anyways, I want B-Fab and Legion. They get the win. I want them to be a team with Zelina. I feel like they've all sort of been a little bit lost. Whereas like Zelina has, she's been part of the LWO, but that's kind of not really like we haven't seen too many interactions on that. She's been kind of finding her own person as United States champion. And then you have B-Fab, who's been trying to get, noticed by the fans. She's trying to build a fan base.
But they gave her,
He would be interested in this. I like doing the busted open shows with him. So I think he would bring like a himself and then go at different people here. Remember HLA. Cena fan, it's done.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem here is, and I get what they're doing with it, but when you tell us that this guy's comic relief for like as many times.
Now let's check out the other podcasters. Hold on, I have to turn off the volume. I'm gonna show y'all Salamonster. Now let's see what Salamonster has to say. Oh wait, only a few minutes.
Close with the return of the Wyatt Six. I couldn't even tell you the last time that we saw the Wyatt Six on WWE television. Somebody reports about injuries, creative being worked on. When would we see them? It was almost becoming a meme. But it was appropriate that this right here was the closing image. There you see Uncle Howdy and all the members of the Wyatt Six. And a birthday cake on the mat with a single candle in the middle of it. 38 years old, Bray Wyatt would have been today. Carrying on the, I guess the creative vision of Bray when I thought that this was going to be over with because I had just about given up on these guys even being back on TV. It had been so long. And now all of a sudden it looks like they're going to be involved in the tag team picture on the SmackDown side. Why? I don't know. We'll have to see if we get some kind of explanation. We didn't get it tonight. But just 24 hours before Saturday night's main event, we had the Street Profits defending the SmackDown tag team titles
Last night was the
against
comeback.
Fraxi. And it sucks that a match like that had to end with such a shit finish. But the addition of the Wyatts, it only adds to an already strong tag team division. And the thing is, as strong as the SmackDown tag team division may be, that will only go so far when you see the same teams over and over and over again, right? It gets very stale after a while. So you saw DIY out there, and you saw the Motor City Machine Guns, and Fraxium is a new team. Street Profits have been around on this show for a while. And you just want some blood in there. And that's what the Wyatt Six would deliver. Whatever their reasons are for now wanting to suddenly go after the tag team titles and tag team division on this show. Now we have some new faces. The question is, which members of the Wyatt Six are going to presumably be challenging for the tag team titles at some point? I would imagine that it would be Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. I hope it is Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy. I think that would be the appropriate team to go with, but we'll have to wait and find out. But they got a nice reception tonight from the crowd. You saw Uncle Howdy out there delivering Sister Abigail to Johnny Gargano, looking up at the heavens, the birthday candle. It was a nice moment, and it's good to have them back on TV. We'll see what the creative is for them. Maybe they'll tone down on some of the spookier aspects that we were getting before. Are we going to hear from them more often, promo-wise? I have some questions about what we're going to get out of the Wyatt Six now going forward, but only time will tell. This is only their return today. We didn't actually hear from them. Maybe they'll freebird that shit. Maybe they'll rotate partners, and it'll be, one week it'll be Eric Rowan and Dexter Lumis, and then it'll be Uncle Howdy and Joe Gacy. I don't know. We'll see if they allow that. We had 2 Money in the Bank qualifiers on the show tonight, and they did the right thing. In both cases, the correct people went over, and they are going to Money in the Bank. Julia wins the women's Money in the Bank qualifier. LA Knight wins the men's Money in the Bank qualifier. So he is going to LA, very appropriate, to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. The matches that we saw on TV tonight, they were fine. They were nothing, they were no great shakes, but I was very happy to see the right people going over here. So that was a good thing. R-Truth was on this show for one last promo before his match with John Cena tomorrow night. There was no John Cena on this show, and it really hit me. This was a very quick turnaround. We saw R-Truth get involved in the finish of the John Cena-Randy Orton match at Backlash a few weeks ago. All of a sudden, these guys are going to be in the ring tomorrow night on Saturday night's main event, non-title, of course, as it should be, but even still, to not get any John Cena appearances on this show, no John Cena interaction in the lead-up to this match, it just feels like a waste. And I still see tomorrow being more of an angle than a match, and so the most important stuff will happen tomorrow night, but still, when Cena's not there, the other person has to carry it. They sent R-Truth out there tonight to cut a promo. He did the best he could. It wasn't anything great, but this is paper thin right now. So, what we expect? He's going to go out there and say the usual stuff. This is not the John Cena I know, and, I'm going to smack some sense into this guy. That's basically the story they're telling here. But it would have been nice, at least once, before this match tomorrow night, to have some sort of face-off with the two of them in the ring together. That would have been nice. And the first match has been announced for this Worlds Collide show that's coming up in LA on June 7th, same day as Money in the Bank. Earlier that afternoon, WWE, NXT, AAA, we didn't have anything announced up until now. And the first match has been announced. It will have Legado del Fantasma, Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto taking on Psycho Clown, Pagano, and El Hijo, I should say, Del Dr. Wagner Jr. That is the first match made official for that show. We had Psycho Clown in House of Glory last year on Cinco de Mayo for a match with Mike Santana, and it kicked ass. So I know what Psycho Clown is all about. The other guys, not so much, but we'll find out. It's coming up pretty quick. Worlds Collide is not that far away, so we're going to have an actual card announced very, very soon. That's coming up at the Kia Forum on June 7th. And here I sit now, 2 weeks before June 6th. And June 6th, it was Meltzer in the Observer a few months ago. It was the first person to mention the fact that June 6th was believed to have been the date that SmackDown would revert back to 2 hours. There has been nothing said about this ever since, until this week, when there were unconfirmed reports that now it appears SmackDown may be staying 3 hours at least through the month of June. And we have no further clarity on when or even if this show is going back to 2 hours. These motherfuckers are going to end up keeping this show at 3 hours permanently. See, I feared this. I feared that this was going to happen. You've already got Raw, which was 3 hours for years. Right now, at least it's 2.5 on Netflix, which is good. Better than 3. But you go 3 hours for 6 months just to go back to 2 hours. What's the purpose of that? What's the purpose of that? And what other shows on this network do better than WWE? So if you're USA Network, why would you even want SmackDown to go back to 2 hours? I would not at all be shocked if this becomes a permanent arrangement. That's my fear right now. But it looks like we're going to be sticking with 3 hours for at least a little while longer. And that fucking sucks. But this is your SmackDown review for May 23rd, 2025. I am the Solid Monster. As we close out this portion of the week, thank you for being here with me. This show tonight did not suck. It wasn't a great show, but this show did not suck. We've had some SmackDowns that have sucked this year. This SmackDown did not suck. We'll talk about it. Like and subscribe. Super chats are open. You will see. Go today. Owen Hart passed away. That was the date of the Over the Edge pay-per-view in 1999, 26 years ago. And this Sunday, we will have 2 matches representing Owen Hart in name. One involving Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter, the other involving Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. That match is going to be closing the show. That is their main event on Sunday. I will be live after Double or Nothing on Sunday night. So I hope you guys will be here with me. Even if you're not watching AEW, come hang out with me anyway. Here this week. Ms. Money in the Bank about attempting to cash in on her when she was interrupted by Alexa Bliss's music. And Alexa came out. She made her way down to the ring, introduced herself to Tiffany, and said that she's had her eye on her.
Now let's watch JD from New York. Let's see what he has to say about this. About 10 minutes, 9 minutes.
Begin, chat. Where do I begin, bro? I mean, I said it on a couple of uploads this week already. I am just painfully bored of pro wrestling this year, man. I love pro wrestling. I am just painfully bored, especially coming out of WrestleMania on WWE's side of things. I can maybe count on one hand the things that I'm interested in about, and I'm not interested in any of the top tier acts outside CM Punk. And even he's kind of cooled off because they haven't really progressed anything with him and this new faction with Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker on Monday night. It just seems to have taken a stop before we get to Saturday night's main event, and then hopefully we get whatever happens next happening on the way to Money in the Bank. I am painfully bored with a lot of pro wrestling. WWE's not hitting creatively. AEW, forget about it, man. They are so lost out to sea that they are beyond help. Nobody is saving them. They're floating out there waiting for somebody to come and rescue them, man. They are fucking so long gone that Joe and his buddies are all waiting, surrounding, and circling the boats. It's over. They couldn't generate interest if fucking Jesus Christ himself came down and granted Tony Khan 3 wishes. Anything he wanted on planet Earth. Jesus, can you help me creatively book AEW? My son, I will gladly do that for you. And then Tony fucks it up. Just the way it is. It's exactly what he does. Both companies are creatively inept right now. WWE, like I said, is the only one making money. So, in their eyes, they can get away with it. AEW cannot. They cannot get away with it. You know, here's a little fun fact for you. I'm not sure if the chat knows this. Do you realize that AEW this Sunday, Double or Nothing? Now, usually I will preface this by saying AEW usually has some really late-minute fucking... Hey, man, should we go to the show tonight? I'm a little buzzed. I can watch a little fucking indie pro wrestling, man. You want to go buy some cheap tickets to go watch some beach wrestling types? They usually get a lot of walk-ups on the day of the show, so they'll probably break 7,000 for attendance. They don't even have 6,300 tickets out the door for their flagship pay-per-view. Double or Nothing, the one pay-per-view that started it all for AEW. NXT Battleground is happening on the same night. NXT Battleground has almost 8,000 tickets out the door. Folks, if you look at this statistic and don't look at it in a negative light, I don't know what to fucking tell you. AEW is being outdrawn by a developmental brand. If that doesn't raise the fucking white flags of, hey man, we should be worried about something, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. Fun fact for you guys. I'm not sure if you were aware. I love throwing it out there and making them look bad because they deserve it. They don't listen. They don't listen. WWE certainly ain't listening, man. A lot of bad press this week. A lot of bad PR with the WrestleMania stunt that they pulled. Triple H tonight via social media announced Money in the Bank next year happening August 29th. 2026 from New Orleans, Louisiana. Great job there, Paul. I don't know why Money in the Bank got moved. Last year it was in July. This year it's in June. Now it's in August. Can we get a set pay-per-view calendar for when these shows are actually going to be? Why are there so many shows reshuffled? The one thing that I thought of when I heard this statement on social media, Money in the Bank usually happening after SummerSlam, or happening this year after SummerSlam. That's a new one. Usually it happens before SummerSlam. It's usually that bridge going into SummerSlam, one of the bridges going into SummerSlam. Now, if they're making Money in the Bank and pay-per-view in August, where's SummerSlam going to be? Is SummerSlam going to be in August? Late July, maybe? Who knows? Or is WWE bringing back the King of the Ring and making it a premium live event, like the days of old? I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is, but being that New Orleans got fucked and they had WrestleMania 42 rescinded, they get Money in the Bank. Great. It's a great consolation prize, man. Awesome. It's like me giving my best friend a PlayStation 5 Pro for his birthday, and then 3 hours into the party, hey, you know what, bro? I'm gonna take my PlayStation 5 Pro back. I don't have one. I have a regular PS5 Pro, but I'm gonna buy a PlayStation 2, man. It's so much better. The fuck you talking about? It's exactly what they did. But in the land of WWE, they want to make you believe that all the decisions are so exciting, man. Everything's so exciting. They got big plans lined up. It's great. It's great. All I know is, and I've been saying this, and this is the narrative coming out of this channel this week, if you do not have the creative to back up the prices you are charging, this shit is going to go south very, very quickly. Very quickly. Just like tonight's Smackdown. Smackdown every week usually goes south every weekend, every Friday. I am starting to believe less, because nobody said a fucking word You would think that if it was in the news and they were hearing rumblings of something changing with the time for this show, that it would have been reported because everybody likes to be the first to get the news out there. Everybody loves being first. Man. Oh, I gotta get the news. You got this one arguing with that one. You got this one posting this and fucking all these websites trying to get the aggregation first. That's right, man. So it's so awesome. Is anybody finding out legitimately what the fuck is going on with this show moving back to 2 hours? Because I cannot take any more of this shit. I can't. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I agree. SmackDown cannot go 3 hours anymore. But it looks like that we might be stuck with it a little while longer. We just won't know.
Can't take any more of this shit. This show is so fucking boring.
Exactly.
And granted, I said the last 2 weeks, the pro wrestling aspect of the show, at least, was fucking great. What happened tonight, man, in Savannah, Georgia? Were you all super excited to go see Ronald Acuna come back and play for the Braves? Yeah, they lost. Great. The fuck did they do for him? This crowd sucked. This show was boring. And I don't really give a shit about anything that's happening on this show right now because it's nothing but Money in the Bank qualifiers, and we got tag team wrestling, which is fine. But I need something to invest my time in. If I am going to sit for 3 hours, there better be a centralized focus on story. What story on this show is jumping off the page for you to get you excited about watching Friday Night SmackDown? Or is it that they don't fucking care and they're waiting for the NBA and NHL playoffs to conclude? Which is it? Nothing on this show mattered. Now, I don't mean that in the sense that the show didn't matter because it forwarded itself to Money in the Bank. The qualifying matches, we had a tag team title match at the end of the show. We had the Wyatt Six return. Outside that, there is no centralized focus of story on this show anywhere to be found. Anywhere. And it is starting to get frustrating because it's bleeding over into Monday Night Raw as well. And I'm asking the same thing on Monday night. Where the fuck is the story? And oh my goodness. $100 super chat. I don't get a sense that they even give a shit. Money in the Bank qualifiers, it's an easy way for them to make TV important. Nothing else really matters. CM Punk hasn't been a factor on TV in 3 weeks. This faction warfare on Monday night hasn't really gone anywhere until hopefully the conclusion of Saturday night's main event. John Cena's heel turn has been a fucking flop. Nothing happening on SmackDown. There's no Cody. Randy's out. Roman Reigns is off television. Like, where are we going? Where are we going? Will Money in the Bank deliver? Sure, it usually does, all the time. But, man, they need to start picking up the pace, man. Everything just feels so fucking sterile, so flat, so uninteresting and unimportant, boring. Just a lifeless show with another lifeless crowd, and that's it. I don't know how you're spending this money and you're sitting there and you're not making any fucking noise. I mean, if I'm spending the amount of money to sit where these people are sitting front row, man, I'm having the fucking time of my life out there. What are we doing? Money in the Bank qualifiers tonight. Julia advances for the women. Great. Great. Crowd didn't give a shit, but Julia's in. We got to make a statement with Julia. She seems to be a fucking flop in WWE as far as I'm concerned. A non-factor so far since joining the company. She's made it to NXT. She won the NXT championship relatively quickly. She had to relinquish it, and Stephanie Backhand. Oh. Stephanie Backhand. Yep. I know. Yeah, she lost to Julia. Oh, she won. She beat Julia. Julia lost to Stephanie. Had to relinquish the championship. Stephanie was a dual champion. Then she gets called up to the main roster. She went through the gambit of WWE in like 6 months. Stardom, the WWE. She's in. We'll talk about the rest of the field now that she's in, but she's looking super impressive, especially on the ladies' side. LA Knight, he's in Money in the Bank. He bested Shinsuke Nakamura and Aleister Black to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match. They did it in a very tasteful way where it protected Aleister Black. Shinsuke Nakamura, not so much. He's a loser and will forever be a loser until he leaves WWE. So LA Knight's in. So all the LA Knight fanatics out there, you are at least somewhat excited because he's got a big potential to win Money in the Bank. And then we got the tag team champ. You are at least on your way to getting somewhat excited because he's got a big potential to win Money in the Bank. LA Knight fanatics out there, you first match though wasn't better than the non-title match a couple of weeks ago. Just simply because this crowd fucking sucked. No heat whatsoever in the main event tonight from the crowd. Then we got DIY, we got the Motor City Machine Guns, and then we got the return of the Wyatt Six. Ooh, Wyatt Six are back, made the lights go out, and they're all standing in the ring, and Montez Ford is making the sign of the cross. And the Wyatt Six took out basically everybody that was out there. DIY, the Machine Guns, the Prophets. They laid waste to Candice LeRae, who somehow made it back to television. And they look to be in the midst of the tag team chaos on SmackDown, which is a great move. We don't need any hocus pocus. We don't need any fucking magic tricks and fire and disappearing acts. Just get them in the ring and let them fucking wrestle, bro. Got some good wrestlers in that group. Bo, Dexter, Gacy, Rowan. If there's anything that they should be doing, they should be wrestling. You can look fucking cool while doing it. Just get them in the fucking ring and let them wrestle. So hopefully this is the direction.
Bray Wyatt and Luke
Anything
Harper.
else
Oh,
is
they
going to
messed up.
hinder their progress
Bray
on the
Wyatt
brand,
won the Rumble.
and it's not going to make sense.
Luke
You don't need to treat them like some supernatural group of fucking people. Just get them out there, let them wrestle, and do what they got to do. The more you normalize and humanize them on the roster, the easier it will be creatively to book them on the show. Now, I'm not asking for them to lose immediately, but the more you do the supernatural thing and the immune to pain and all this other nonsense, then it becomes a little hokey, and that's exactly what we don't need for this new incarnation of a Wyatt group.
No, you're not. You
So we'll talk about that. Smackdown in 3 hours was another boring show on Friday night, folks. I don't know what you want me to tell you. More than likely you were watching the Knicks Pacers. More than likely you were watching the Yankees. Whatever hockey game was on. Or maybe you were just playing Doom Dark Ages like I should have been fucking doing. But I thank you guys for joining me on this Friday night, man. I'm in some mood tonight, so it's going to be a very colorful show tonight. Because you all watch me on a daily basis. Have to ask by Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach. In NXT to befriend and be nice to Alexa Bliss while she was in NXT. So they either dropped the storyline.
Grandpa time. Tomorrow I send your ass to the hospital, but tonight I get my pound of flesh. I had that for dinner tonight. It was quite good. Well,
Not that I really gave a shit to see Charlotte and Alexa Bliss in any sort of camaraderie on Friday Night SmackDown. Bliss talked about how she doesn't know Tiffy.
Happy birthday, Bray. It was great to honor Bray Wyatt's birthday today. Alright. Oh, the NBA Pacers go up 2-0 against the Nets. And they're talking about the Wyatt Six as well.
The man's
The Wyatt Six, what did this mean? Here are the news and rumors here. They're the Monday Night Raw, they're AEW Dynamite, the Go Home Show for Double Nothing, boring show, nothing really happened. MJF officially hurt Syndicate celebration. He's now in the hurt Syndicate with Lashley, Show, and MVP. WrestleMania being pulled from New Orleans, possibly going to London, or they might go back to Las Vegas. They said corporate greed on Raw over WrestleMania, making Las Vegas its home.
It's on a February 21st episode of Friday Night Smackdown in New Orleans, where we saw The Rock reemerge. Not only asking for Cody's soul that night on the way to the Elimination Chamber, but The Rock announced that WrestleMania 42 would be taking place at the Caesars Superdome in April of 2026. Everybody was excited. You may or may not have had your flights already booked and your Airbnbs already secured. I'm here to tell you that you may need to go get a refund on those reservations. WWE is no longer holding WrestleMania next year, and this is breaking news this afternoon, and I have the latest on WWE and their WrestleMania situation no longer taking place in New Orleans in 2026. Also, AEW, a tradition Labor Day weekend with All Out in Chicago. No more. They're moving up north to Toronto. And NXT Europe, which is a plan we heard about several years ago. It may finally be a thing that we see live and in the flesh. All this and so much more on today. Be held in New Orleans in 2026. That news follows the recently announced UFC 318 card set for July 19, 2025 at the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. The events are part of a broader multi-year agreement being negotiated between local organizers and WWE and UFC's parent company TKO Group Holdings. A specific date for Money in the Bank next year was not provided, but the annual event usually takes place in June or July. The Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation and New Orleans and Company are working closely with our friends at TKO to expand our long-standing partnership. The statement from the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation reads, which will include UFC 318 on July 19, 2025, Money in the Bank in 2026, and WrestleMania, which will move from the currently scheduled 2026 timeframe to a future year. The foundation described the statement as a joint message from both their organization and WWE. WWE didn't immediately respond to requests to confirm their agreement with the statement or provide additional comments. This report will be updated if a response $5 million site fee for WrestleMania. WWE also qualified for an additional $4.2 million in tax credits under a program offered by the Nevada state government. And 18. But after that, Rock didn't show up on TV. Rock didn't make a single mention of John Cena selling his soul. We had nothing to do with Cody and The Rock on the way to WrestleMania. Rock didn't even show up at this year's WrestleMania. Not a single peep, not a single video, not a single piece of hype, not a single word was said from Dwayne on the road to WrestleMania. So that makes two segments now, looking back at it, that absolutely went nowhere for The Rock and WWE. Not only did he not follow up on the soul angle of Cody Rhodes, now WrestleMania is no longer taking place in New Orleans. So The Rock keeps striking out here left and right, man, to a point where I genuinely hope we don't see The Rock on TV again in any sort of creative aspect whatsoever. I just find that to be hilarious at this point. And of course, It's the same thing that happens all the time when he's on TV. Something with The Rock eventually leads to nothing. In fact, I absolutely expect it within the next 3 to 5 years. Next year, Royal Rumble. I'm not sure you got where the Royal Rumble is taking place in Saudi in 2026. It's the first PLE for WWE next year. It's in Saudi Arabia. It's in Saudi Arabia.
I'm not gonna show all of it because I don't want to take too long. I'm gonna show us some of the news and rumors here. Hold on a second. I have to wait. I hate these damn commercials, man. Really annoying. I don't do commercials on my channel because I find it to be a waste of time.
You need merch. Link is down below.
Alright, now this is the other news and rumors.
Yesterday afternoon, the news broke and it sent shockwaves throughout the entire wrestling community. WWE is moving WrestleMania next year out of New Orleans and leaving the host city up in the air. Speculation ran wild yesterday on social media with cities such as Indianapolis, Orlando, London at Wembley Stadium, Atlanta, Tennessee, all possible landing spots for WrestleMania in 2026.
7 people
Then later in the afternoon, WWE supposedly was bringing WrestleMania back to Las Vegas for a second year in a row. Today we wake up and find out that the rumor of Las Vegas, there is smoke to that fire. And now WWE is thinking about holding WrestleMania and hosting WrestleMania in Las Vegas more frequently. I got the latest on all of this developing news to Fightful. So this is legit. This is not a troll. This is not some weird Facebook aggregation. Dude, it's basically what they're known for. I even seen some people this morning when I woke up defending Vince McMahon, saying that Vince McMahon would announce WrestleMania in a said city and never would Vince McMahon pull WrestleMania and talent that we spoke to, say Fightful, who are in the industry of pro wrestling. And no, but it has been a normal. Obviously, everybody is New Orleans. The other is company loved having it in Las Vegas because key TKO executives live in Las Vegas and are there, and Nick Khan grew up there. I don't give a fuck who lives there, and I don't give a shit who currently resides there, was born there, does work there. I don't care. This type of nonsense, this type of reason is gonna get lost on the regular fan. Nobody gives a fuck. It's not a real reason to move WrestleMania more regularly to Las Vegas. The strategy for Las Vegas hosting WrestleMania is described as the plan is now to run WrestleMania on a more regular basis in the city, not necessarily every year, but more frequently. The idea is that the city wants to have a major destination sports event every year, and by definition, they're looking at the Super Bowl, the Final Four, college football national championships, and WrestleMania. And that would be the big four for the city, and they're looking for Mania any year that they don't have one of the other 3 events. Regarding New Orleans, talks with city officials show there. Yes, it won't be at the Caesar Superdome because the Caesar Superdome needs renovations. And like I said yesterday, no matter how you look at it, New Orleans got the fucking check. That was a great comparison from Jonathan Coachman.
I'm gonna stop the video right here. Oh, it's showing the fan.
That's what they think their audience wants. It's awful. If the creative isn't backing up the price of admission here, I don't know what we're doing. This is
Alright, now now this is AEW. I'm not gonna do my petition for that. I think I'll do the NXT one. Now that was NXT on the Tuesday. That was the go home show for NXT Battleground. We had Joe Henry Tripilium. I think we had like a rap battle. I think Trick did a rap battle, and then Joe Henry did a concert. That was very, very good. Alright, so what the hell? Worst waiting of the year to relaunch a new brand. Alright, there's Double or Nothing main event. I don't think they showed NXT, did they? No, I don't think that they did. Kind of odd when you think about it. I was going to do more of my prediction, talk about NXT, because I already talked about Smackdown, talked about the news and rumors. Alright. Now there's Saturday Night main event. Now this is NXT, Trick Pratchett, Joe Henry concert. Disney Valkyrie appears, War at Battleground. Trick entered Joe Hendry in Ruthless Rap, Daphne Valkyrie, and Jordan Grace in a fatal four-way. There's Monday Night Raw. It's only like 2.5 hours. Alright. There's the Saturday Night main event. Those are like the two bigger matches with the bigger storyline. Actually, it doesn't show Battleground. Probably because it's not enough. And the countdown to Battleground in Tampa, Florida, that's only the pre-show. So they're probably not enough here. Okay. This is all we got on Smackdown here. That's really like all we got. So I think I'm gonna end the video pretty soon. I think I done everything. I talked about everything. Just want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Just let me know in the comment section if y'all want to see. If y'all want to see more.
Of like, why didn't I just take the loss? Sit back.
You probably know VistaPrint for business cards because we printed them for millions of small businesses over the past.
With the same teams and the same battles and the same tensions. Nothing's changed.
In the ranks of the Bloodline between Mateo and Fatu, they don't like each other. They don't trust each other. Solo is trying to keep the family together. He's trying to broker peace between them. You know, it's such a weird thing. I thought for sure, if not at WrestleMania, then by Backlash, we would have already been at the stage where there was a breakdown in the Bloodline and we would have gotten Solo and Jacob, you know, in the ring against each other. And now by adding a new member in Jeff Cobb, and who knows, you know, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are out right now. They'll be back at some point. But we still don't know what the hell's going on with Hikuleo. So there are new members even that could still join this group because the Bloodline will never die. But like, how long now is it going to be before we get to Solo and Jacob? Because now Mateo's in there. And they're building to something at some point between JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu. So by the time we get to Jacob and Solo in the ring, I mean, probably SummerSlam at the earliest. Like, they're going to milk this for all it's worth. If you would have told me that a couple of months ago, I would have said there's no way we would have our first match by now. But I don't think it happens before SummerSlam, honestly. Now, coming up next, we have R-Truth. R-Truth is challenging John Cena tomorrow night, not for the WWE Championship, but he is challenging the WWE Champion on Saturday night's main event. Now, the champion cannot be bothered to be here tonight. So R-Truth had to come out here and give the hard sell for this match, which is not something that we're used to seeing him doing. Because for years, R-Truth has been a comedy character on this show. He's a talented guy. He's a veteran guy. He's a former NWA World Champion. He's been doing this a very long time, but he has not been in a position where you are meant to take him seriously in a main event caliber match. So this is very different. We actually have not seen R-Truth in a role like this in this company in well over a decade. In well over a decade. Actually, probably closer to like 15 years. When was he doing the heel thing with the smoking? The last time he wrestled Cena. Right? Capital Punishment. They had that pay-per-view match. That had to be 14, 15 years ago now. So this is a little bit different. So he gets in the ring. Says everybody keeps asking him, how are you going to handle fighting your childhood hero, John Cena?
Of Johnny Gargano. But this is basically what we got in NXT without Tommaso. Or was Tommaso in the way? I'm not really sure. Was Tommaso in the way? I thought it was Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. Maybe Tommaso was still there and he was kind of.
Now, those are the highlights to this show.
At TD Bank, we know it's only human to dream. To think about your. Char, you're low-key giving hypocrite.
Alright.
Win one championship.
Alright, well, might as well just, given 23 minutes. Well, might as well just end the video. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comment section y'all want to see more. I will do a live stream tomorrow night on NXT Battleground.
And they said.
I mean, Saturday Night Main Event tomorrow night. I will do a live stream to talk about that show. And then I will do NXT Battleground. I will do AEW Double or Nothing. So I got a lot to do this week. Monday Night Raw, I'm not sure about doing a live stream. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I might do a live stream on maybe while playing the PS5 on 2K25. Also, I will make more videos on 2K25. So yeah, I'll see y'all later.
It's not the championship, it's your ego, dog. You stopped having fun and now you get mad when someone else wants to have all time. He's not. But that's what he's saying. So John Cena is the greatest of all time.